the comment section that you can hear me. If you can hear me and you can see my screen, just type on the comment section that you can see my screen. You can see my screen, just type. Okay, you're welcome. If you can hear me, just type you can hear me. If you can hear me, just type yes. If you can hear me, just type yes. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, type yes. All right. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome. If you can hear me, just type yes that you can hear me. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your comments. All right. That is beautiful. I guess if you just hold on a bit for some few persons. It's already 8:19. We didn't really start early. Okay, today's class is just about the beginning of what we are going to be doing in the next class to come. I decided to use this platform so that it can go around to everyone, and decided to make it free so that everyone can benefit from the little tips that we'll be showing today. And in the next class to come, we'll be using another platform called Google Meet. I believe you are with your books and pen for jotting. I'm going to show you some few things that you need to know. I'm not going to waste our time so that we can proceed and we call it a day. Okay, this is already 8:20. Let's go. My name is Alali, God bless. For those of you that are just joining, my name is Alali, God bless. I'm a product designer, a graphic designer. Yes, I do a lot of things with digital tech and all the rest. So I decided to package this course for a lot of persons that have been asking some questions, how they can get clients, how they can proceed with their design career, how they can hit their target customers, how they can create portfolios. This course is huge and there is a lot, and it's going to last for 4 weeks. So there is more, and there is a lot of things for us to learn. There are a lot of things we need to know. So I will encourage us to, after today, we should continue with the course. We should not just leave it, because there are a lot of things that we need to know. So welcome you all to this course. I'm not going to waste your time. Let us proceed. So this is a beginner's class to our mentorship course. So in this course, you'll be exposed to a lot of great ideas in both UI UX and graphics design. Okay, you can hear me, Philip. I don't know if you can hear me now. I don't know if you can hear me now. Okay, if you can hear me, just say you can hear me. Let me proceed. All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is a beginner's class to our mentorship course. So in this course, you will be exposed to a lot of great ideas in both UI UX and graphics design. So let's proceed with our table of content. So the first thing we are going to be looking at is my process to design anything. That's the first thing we'll be looking at, and the next thing we'll be looking at is tips for beginners graphic designers. Tips for beginner graphic designers. So I'm not going to say everything. There are lots more here, like product designer versus UI UX designer, business success and UI UX design, logo design process start to finish. So there are lots more here, but for the sake of our time, we'll be looking at two contents: my process to design anything and tips for beginners in graphic design. Okay? So let's look at my process to design anything. What are those processes? What are those steps you need to take or you need to know to design anything? And the first one is identify the goal. Identify the goal. What needs to be accomplished? What's the purpose? What are you trying to achieve in your designs? So what are the things that viewers or users will see in your designs and be attracted? What are you trying to sell out to the market? What are you trying to sell out to people? What is the client trying to sell out in the design through you? So those are the things you try to identify in the design. What is the reason of this design? Understand? So the reason of this design will give you the concept of the design. The purpose of the design will give you the concept of the design. We give you creativity. You begin to think and reason towards that goal or that purpose of the design. The next thing is research. We need to carry out research. Figure out who is going to see this and what they are like. Check what competitors are putting out and start thinking about how to differentiate yours. Understand? Carry out research. When you are asked to do a design, you are supposed to carry out some research. Don't stay in your comfort place. Most of us don't practice. Most of us don't look at design trend. We just do design from how we know or how we think. No, how we feel is supposed to be. No, design is not how you feel it's supposed to be. It's how people will see it and understand. It's not for you. It's not for your sake. Are we together? So carry out research whenever you want to start a design. Look at concepts that looks like what you want to achieve. After you've designed, after you've seen your purpose, after you've gotten your reason for the design, look at what people have done that looks like that, and you take out some ideas, some creativity, and combine with yours so that you can bring out the best. You are not stealing their design. You are not copying their design. You are only creating, adding to what they've done and adding to your own. You are only taking from what they've done, adding to your own, bringing things together. So Do research, carry out research, practice designs. Look at designs that people have done before and practice it so that you be creative, so that you be experienced. In case you have such design, it won't be difficult for you. So the next is prepare the content. Prepare the content for your design. Prepare the content for your design. If you already have a copy, an illustration, and other brand assets at your disposal, then make sure you have them already to go in one place. If you don't know how to prepare content for a design, get a content creator, get a content writer to help you arrange content as a graphic designer. Let's say a firm invites you to be their designer and they don't have a content creator. They might assume you already have concepts that you can bring up. So try to get used to content. Try to get used to content writing. If you can't get used to content writing, tell them to get a content creator, someone that can generate content for you, or improve yourself to get used to content and know how to generate content. So prepare your content very well. Know what content goes out every day, what you can use to generate your design, because the kind of content you have will inspire you in your design. So the next is collect inspiration. A critical step. Carry this out with intention so you can awaken new ideas. Every new idea is just a mashup or remix of one or more. So collect inspiration. Look for inspirations like from free pics, Getty, Pinterest, and all the rest. Seek ideas. Look at what people have done before. Look at what people have done. You are not, how will I put it? You are not an expert like that. You are a beginner designer. So look at people that have been there before you. Look at their job. Go through their profiles. Try to do their designs and ask them questions. Don't sit at your comfort zone. Some persons wait for jobs. When jobs come, that is when they do designs. No, you won't be creative. Creativity comes when you learn, practice, and practice. And it's a regular process. You don't stop. It's a regular process. So there are times when people tell me, when people are giving me content of design, I'm already knowing what to do because I have done things similar to that which they are saying. You understand? I've done things similar to that which they are saying. Okay, so the next is execute. Execute. This is where it all comes together. Combine, modify, subtract, and add things from your inspiration, all while considering the goal and research. Execute after you've gotten the content, after you know the purpose of the design, after you've collected all inspirations. Execute your design. Just go straight to what you think you can create to be good. Go straight to the design. Start designing. After you finish designing, the last one is listen and improve. Look for criticisms. Some persons don't like feedback. Most persons don't like feedback. Look for feedback. Feedback is necessary as a designer. It will help you to improve. Most of us don't like when people are criticizing them. You start to feel somehow. No, you will not improve as a designer. You won't improve. So look for feedbacks. Look for people that will criticize you. No matter how they say it, don't feel bad. Are we together? So no matter how they say it, don't feel bad. Just learn to improve on what they are saying. Look at the things they are telling you to do. What they think is not right. Apply it and see whether it will work. So this is especially pertinent for something like a website. Make it easy for people to provide feedback, whether that's contact info, a chatbot, or anything in between. So remember what we said from the beginning. We said identify the goal, research, prepare the content, collect inspiration, execute your design. Then The next is tip for beginners graphic design. Tip for beginners graphic design. That first one was steps for designing everything. So this one is tips for beginners graphic design. Number one is keep your design simple. Keep your design simple and unique. The most significant tip for known designers and new designers is to keep their design simple and straightforward. There's nothing more awful than a staggering plan that is hard to understand. Don't make your design too complex for people to understand. Identify the things you want people to see. Bring out those things you want people to see. Make sure that you sell out what the client wants you to sell. So design is not about what you think or how you feel it is. It's about how it works. So therefore, learn to design with your mind and not your sight. So in that way, you can get the mind of the clients and users. In that way, people will learn how to understand your design and they will not be confused. That's why you can see designs on the road, they just use maybe one color and a text. One color, a text, and image, and it's done. Okay, before I continue, I want to know if you can hear me. Just type yes. And if you have questions, just type it on the comment section. I will attend to you. If you have questions, type it on the comment section. Okay, let me continue. So this is an example of designs. Okay, Mr. Noble Trust Media, do we have different concepts for different design industries? Yes, we have. We have different concepts for different design industries, depending on the goal, the purpose of the industry, what they are selling at. What they are selling out. Let's say, for example, you have a logistics industry, a logistics company, and they are into logistics. The pattern of designs you do will be different from the ones in medical, like hospitals. Understand? The way you do the design for the ones in hospital will be different from the ones in logistics. So when people see it, people should know that you are selling logistics. This design is about logistics, and people should know that this design is about hospitals. The images, the text, the colors you use are different. I don't know if I've answered your question. That is the design for medical from a different form. catering. Yes, the design from medical is different from catering. Okay, catering, I mean. Okay, I don't know if I've answered your question, Mr. Noble Trust Media. Every design varies depending on the purpose. Like what I said in the beginning, the purpose of the design. Know the purpose of the design, and you have concept that relate with it. Okay, number 2. The first one is keep your design simple. The second one is control the typography. Alright. Control the typography. Typography is one of the important parts in design. So for a beginner, I suggest don't use a lot of different typography in your designs. Try to keep marks of 2 to 3 different new beautiful fonts in your design. Don't use a lot of fonts when you are designing. Don't use a lot of fonts when you are designing. I recommend that you use 2 to 3 types of fonts in your design. So that you don't make it look complex. So this is how you can, there are so many ways you can manipulate text. There are so many ways you can play with text depending on how creative you are. Text manipulation is very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. You can play with your text depending on how creative you are. So don't use so many fonts when you are designing. As a graphic designer, I recommend you use 2 to 3 fonts while designing. Recommend you use 2 to 3 fonts while designing. Okay, the next is use of white spaces, or you can say negative spaces. There are negative spaces and positive spaces. So the use of white spaces. White space isn't exactly white. What white spaces means is that there is an empty space in your design, an empty area in your design without text or element in it. Is the area of the design where it breathes. So negative space is just the area, an area without the text. It's just a white area without the text. An empty space, that the text, where is the area of the design where it breathes. So this is an example of a design with an empty space. This is an example of a design with an empty space. So such designs are not bad. When you see them, they are not bad. They are called white spaces, or you can say negative space. Even in photography, there are designs called negative spaces. So the next is cohesive colors. Color palettes and color plans are pretty much as significant as the message you need to hand off with your design. Picking the ideal color combination, however, isn't in every case simple. Using use of colors are not really simple. Sometimes people get confused while trying to use colors, and all these things comes. I will suggest you look at the color theory for graphic design so that you can understand how colors behave, the kind of colors you can use in your design. So don't use excess colors in your design. If you look at my slide from the beginning, I've been trying to maintain yellow, black from the beginning. I've been trying to maintain yellow and black. So as a graphic designer, color is very important in your design. If you are doing design for brands, ask them for their colors, ask them for their color codes, ask them for their colors, so that you will work with the color, so it will be their brand color. But if they don't have, you can generate colors for them, or you can ask them their color choices and you work with it. So color is very important. The use of color is very important. The next is consider visual hierarchy. Consider visual hierarchy. Consider visual hierarchy. Hierarchy simply stands for orderliness, like orderliness in your design. Hierarchy is orderliness in your design. The way you arrange your design, the way you place your design, images, text. The most important thing should be very visible. The most important thing should be very bold. Sell out the most important thing in your design. Let's say you are doing a design for a tech firm and they have what they are selling, maybe React or web design, product design. The product design should be very high, it should be highlighted. It should be highlighted. So in these two designs, these two examples, what the design stands for is move. Move, and this one is stir it up. You see that the concept, the selling point of the design is very bold. That's what hierarchy means. Bring out those things that I want people to see. Let them come out very big. Understand? Place them as order of priority in your design. What the design is about should be very big, be very visible, should be in place of order. Then every other thing can come out simple. So hierarchy in your design is very important. So visual hierarchy is tied in with giving visual significance to certain components over others. In basic terms, it's the means by which headers are bigger than subheadings. Understand? Even when you are trying to write or create a note in your books or your notebooks, the header, the topics are big, the subtopics are big, while the content are smaller. That's how hierarchy is. So it means by which headers are bigger than subheading, and these stores are bigger than a crate of text. So what you want people to see in the design should come out very well. Okay, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now, Mr. John? Okay, can you hear me now? All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. for those of you just joining, we've talked some few things. And please, if you have questions, you could ask. If you have questions, you could ask. I will drop like we said, this is just a beginner's class, an intro class. On Wednesday, I'll still continue the class, and it's going to be online, same time, and it's going to be a free class. So we are going to talk about the rest. We are going to talk about product designer versus UI UX designer, logo design process, start to finish, business success, and UX design. So please, it's still going to be a free class on Wednesday, same time, where everyone can join. So if you have questions right now, you can ask your questions, and I'm going to leave the video, upload the video as soon as possible so that everyone can go through it. Okay, a link for color theory. I'm going to do that in the video. In this video, I'm going to drop it in the description. Any other question? Okay, without any questions, I'm going to end the class here and now. Please, if you have chance, go through the video. Goodbye for now. Okay, sorry. Question just come in before I close. Yes, the class is long. We have a lot to do. We have practicals to practice in this course. A lot of practicals to do, both UI UX and graphic design. So please stay tuned, continue with the class. We are going to do some projects and assignments and everything. So this is just tips to keep your minds warmed up and everything.